Welcome back to the Todd Durkin Impact Show, and welcome to the party. Yes, today is our 1-year anniversary of the podcast. I can't believe it. It's been 1 year already. 108 episodes in a year. We started the Impact Show on August 19th, 2019. So we're just here. This is being released on August 17th, 2020. 1 year ago. Amazing. Matter of fact, if you have not listened to even the first episodes 1 and 2, do me a favor. When you're done listening to this party and being part of the party, the soiree right here, is go back and listen to episodes 1 and 2. I want to just say, first off, thank you. Thank each and every one of you for being here, for listening to this one. And maybe you've listened to all 108. Maybe this is the first one you've ever listened to. Maybe you've listened to many of them or most of them. I just want to say thank you. Our community has grown so much in the last year, and the comments, the social media, the emails, the impact that's been created by all of you. That's why I started this show a year ago. It was actually, it seems like it was a couple years ago in the making, and I kept thinking about, hey, should I do this podcast? Should I do this podcast? And based on the prodding of many of you, I did it, and I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. As a matter of fact, I have a special gift for all of you. Matter of fact, I want to make sure that later on, when you're all done, not right now, that you go and take advantage of a special invite party bonus I'm going to give to you. All you have to do is this. Later on, you're going to text a number, and I'm going to have something very special show up just for you. So the number is going to be 56977. If you text 56977, and then like you were texting me, a personal message, because I'm going to see them all, Impact Party. If you type in Impact Party to the number 56977, you're going to be wowed. Let's just say you're going to be wowed by what you receive. So do that later on, and don't forget to be part of the party. I have a very, very special episode today. And when I look at the past 108 episodes, let me tell you what, I have prided myself that each and every episode would provide value and impact to you. And I'm talking interviews, Q&As, monologues, spitting fire episodes, bringing you some of my athletes, bringing you some everyday people too, that I work with here at Fitness Quest 10, who I've met around the world, who I find extremely interesting, entrepreneurs. And one thing I would love to know from you is which ones were your favorite ones and what would you like more of? Because as I go into year 2, I want to make sure that we can continue, my team and I can continue to deliver the value and the impact that you want and that you desire. And when I look back on the last year, I can't believe it's been a year already, 316 reviews on iTunes, 316 reviews and ratings, and 5 stars. We are a 5-star podcast. I told you in the beginning I wanted to get 500 reviews. I wanted all 5 stars, and I want to become in the top 10 of all podcasts, all genres, so we can inspire the world to be the best that they can possibly be. So if you can do me a favor, many of you listening probably have written a review already. But if you have not written a review on the Todd Durkin Impact Show podcast, go on to Apple, go on iTunes, scroll down here on your phone, and you can write a review. Give us a 5-star rating. It really, really helps us out. So I got to tell you how much I love doing these podcasts. It's one of my top 3 things that I'm doing right now. I love to do. My team's doing an amazing job. I could not have done 108 episodes without our team, without Julie and Jess and Zach and Emilianne and the team really doing an amazing job. It takes a team of people because we want to provide a quality output for all of you. So a shout out to them, round of applause to all of them for our party today. So give them some virtual shout outs. And if there are people that you know of that you would like me to interview for the second year coming up, I would love to know. I know a lot of interesting people, and we've had some of those people on in the first year. We've had amazing guests on. So I want to get your feedback again on the many different types of podcasts. I like to mix it up, and we're doing twice a week right now, typically a little bit longer form on Mondays and a shorter form of Q&A or spitting fires on Thursday. And we'll continue to do that as well as we serve not only trainers and coaches, but high performers, parents, kids, people who want to be their absolute best and create their purpose and go deep on their God-sized dream. That's what it's all about. Today, you're in for a real treat. Here's what I did. Went through the last the last 50 episodes, and I went through some of my favorite moments, and I'm doing a little mashup for you. I've got some clips, very short clips, anywhere from like 1 to 3 minute clips, and I'm going to give you a little bit of narration before and then right after about these clips. But I believe these 7 clips can provide great value to you. It's going to be mixing up. It's going to be fast paced. So if you're out for a walk, jog, workout right now, be prepared to pick up the pace a little bit. So are you ready to rock and roll? So the 1 year party is on right now. And for the next, 30 minutes or so, let's have a little party. Let's have some fun. Let's light up the airwaves on social media for the 1 year anniversary party of the Todd Durkin Impact Show, and give some shout outs to my team and all. So without further ado, on the 7 different clips I've used from episodes 50 all the way through now 108. So I scoured back to 107. I'm starting with one of my favorite episodes of all 108. Why? Because I'm going to Mama Durkin. Yes, Muffy Durkin is in the house. On March 19th, episode number 65, I had the opportunity to be down in Orlando, Florida. This was just days before the world shut down because of the pandemic. I was down there to teach for Perform Better, and Perform Better was canceled. So I said, hey, Mom, let's do a podcast. And let me tell you what, my mom, bless her heart, 86 years young, she dropped some pearls of wisdom and nuggets that I'll always, always remember. But I want to share one specifically with you right now, because I asked my mom, not knowing what was ahead for the next 5-6 months. I thought it was going to be a few weeks shutdown if we got shut down. I asked my Mom, when life throws you curveballs, how do you get through challenging times? And this is what Mama Durkin had to say. And my brother Paul, second oldest brother, who is a retired colonel in the Marine Corps, had several deployments on that. And Mom, one thing that in your memory there, you've seen a lot of things. I just mentioned a couple of them. Heck, I had knee replacement last year. Paul going to war. Stephen having a horrific accident. Meredith and Judy having kids at a young age. My sister Karen having type 1 diabetes. How do you get through? Like when you get the news of Paul going to war or Stephen had a horrific accident, what is your mindset? I always talk about get your mind right. What do you do, and what's your mindset to get through, like, challenging times?
Well, I think when you hear of a stressful situation or you think it's like, you have to say to yourself, well, now don't get excited, relax, control yourself, and just try to relax and think it out. Thank God I wasn't, if you want to say easygoing, but I didn't want to overreact to the whole thing.
Well, you've told me before you can't always control life, but you can control how you react to it.
That's right. I agree.
You've shared with me many times about life sometimes throws you curveballs, and we can't always control the curveballs, but we can learn how to control what we do to react to that. Are we reacting or responding? Right? We want to respond and not necessarily react hastily on that. So I still see that now, even with the coronavirus. I'm down here in Orlando, and again, I'll be flying out later today, and I want to get this in because I've been just so happy seeing you and seeing how you go with the flow. You always have, you always will, right? Gotta love hearing from the Muffy, Mama Durkin. If you have not listened to all of episode number 65 of the Impact Show, go back and listen to it. It's one of my all-time favorites. Obviously, it's my mother, and her talking. I've got 7 siblings, and as the youngest of 8 kids, her saying, you're going to get through this. We're going to get through this. It just instills that confidence that we will get through this. Now, close related. On the way back from Orlando, Florida to San Diego, I got the idea in air at 30,000 feet. I was going to talk about a topic called faith over fear. Faith over fear. I was in an airplane, and I actually talk about getting your mind right, faith over fear, coming from a place of love. So check out this short clip on what it takes to have faith over fear. Get your mind right.
Now is not the time to live in fear. One epidemic or a pandemic at this point is bad enough. We don't need a second one, the fear epidemic. Let's be smart and do the right things for epidemic number 1. But for that second one, we got to stay focused on coming from a place of love. We're not going to be defeated by the coronavirus, but the fear opponent, that's a formidable one because it lives in your head all the time, and you can't allow it to have a home in your dome. Don't allow it, fear, to have a home in your dome. Protect your mind at all costs. So, how do you do that? How do you beat fear? Well, the opposite. With extreme love, with extraordinary gratitude, with heart-centered humility and grace.
I hope y'all love that episode from 30,000 feet. As a matter of fact, if you love that episode, I want to hear that you want to hear more episodes from the air, because as we return to flying again, I actually really enjoyed filming that, recording that from my airplane seat. And as we get back to quote normal here in the upcoming months, can I get an amen on that? I'm going to do some more episodes from the air because I certainly enjoyed that episode. You know, right now we're going to go to another episode, episode number 60. And it's called Underdog, the 3-time world champ with MMA fighter Mike Chandler. And he's talking about don't let success define your worth. Don't let success define your worth. Now, here's why this is important. Because on the day I'm recording this episode, Mike is actually fighting tonight. He's fighting a man named Benson Henderson. I don't know if he's going to win or lose, right? He's prepared. He's ready to go. But you never know what's going to happen. So by the time you listen to this on August 17th, you're going to know the outcome. But Mike doesn't. But isn't that apropos? Because in episode 60, he talks about don't play scared, taking risk and not being afraid to lose or to fail. You got to put yourself in the ring. You got to be the man in the arena. You got to be the woman in the arena to play the game. And we talk about that on this episode. You got to put yourself out there. And right now, amidst everything going on, you can't play scared. You can't be afraid to fail. So let's go out to my interview with MMA great, world-class, hopefully champ, my man, Mike Chandler.
Mixed martial arts. I mean, you've seen it. You've followed my career. I mean, I've been the most prepared I've ever been in my entire life. I step into the cage, I get knocked out in a minute, or I have a crazy injury in the first minute, and you lose a fight. Had a really bad training camp, not feeling so hot, but I'm still ready to go into the cage, and all of a sudden I knock a guy out in 30 seconds. There is no amount of work that you can put in that will guarantee great success. So you're tied onto a roller coaster. You're tied onto a tornado. You have to step into the cage accepting of the risk that you're about to take in the tumultuousness of the ups and downs and the ebbs and flows of what's about to happen. So I think it's number one, I'm not scared of the man in front of me because I know I've trained extremely hard. Number two, I'm really not afraid to lose. You know, I think now the older I've got, I'm not afraid to lose because when I lose, I will promise you that my God will still love me, my family will still love me, and I will still love me. And I wasn't able to say that a couple years ago. You know, just 5 years ago, I was so wrapped up in the sport of mixed martial arts. It was my identity. But man, I lose now, and I can go home to my wife and my son, and they don't even care. You know, God definitely doesn't care. He's like, come on, dust yourself off. I promise. Better things are in store, and better things will come from this, and I will still love me because I know that every single person I've ever looked up to has been a failure at one point or another. They have been a failure of a competition, a failure of an account, a failure of a business, a failure of X, Y, and Z. Yet when I look at them, I think, well, that's just part of the process. He's going to be back or she's going to be back. But when I looked at myself, I thought it was a death sentence. You know, I lost a fight. I lost that first fight to Eddie Alvarez, and I thought it was a death sentence. I immediately went into hiding. I immediately forgot how good I was, and I immediately put myself in the metaphoric jail cell of getting comfortable in the self-pity, you know? So now the older I've gotten, it's not that I don't care if I lose, but I know it doesn't define me, and I know every single time I've lost, it's been revealed to me every single time I've lost, I've gained more following, more respect, a bigger platform, and then ended up with a bigger contract financially than if I would have won.
Yeah.
So the proof is in the pudding. Don't be afraid to lose. Put yourself out there. Fall flat on your face. And I think that's the beauty of what mixed martial arts is too, because you ever looked at somebody and been like, dang, that's tough to take. Dang. Ooh, that's embarrassing. Ooh, that's rough. Especially you watching all these guys. But there's an inkling inside you that says, yeah, but I wish that was me. You know why? Because he took a chance. She took a chance. They put themselves out there to just get embarrassed and fall flat on their face in front of millions and millions of people. And that's what people are drawn to, whether they admit it or not. We were designed for a battle to fight and adventures to have. And if you're not doing that and not pushing yourself, there's an inkling in you when you watch other people do it that even if they're getting embarrassed and getting crushed, you want that.
All right, now that you're all fired up, listening to MMA fighter Mike Chandler being in the ring, you're all ready to fight. Now I'm going to make you laugh. I'm going to make you laugh, literally make you laugh, because this is one of the most enjoyable interviews and episodes I've ever done. It's with my man Steve Shenbaum from Game On. And if you have not listened to Steve Shenbaum, he was so awesome. We had him on twice, episode 76. But this one's going to stem from episode 79 because he's talking about humor is medicine for the soul. Humor is medicine for the soul. Game time with Steve Shenbaum. Now, here's the deal. Steve put me on the spot, and I had to play this game with him. And let me tell you what, I had so much feedback on that you all enjoyed me getting made fun of in a roundabout way. So it's full of laughter. It's full of fun. It's going to make you smile. It's lighthearted, and it's very, very great for the soul. So let's go out to episode 79 with Steve Shenbaum.
I'm going to be your director, and I'm going to say either yes or no. Okay. If I say yes after you take a break, then you keep going with your story. And when you hear no, now I want you to go to a new idea, but keep the story moving forward. Yes and no. Don't rush it too fast. Follow my lead. Good to see you, bro. Tell me about your day, man. Go.
Oh, it's been a great day, Steve. I got up this morning, 6 o'clock. I got into the gym, started to work out. And man, next thing I know, I was doing push-ups and squats. No. I was actually doing meditation.
Yes.
And I was breathing, and I was really trying to just kind of relax my body because of all the stress that was in there. And the more I breathe deep, I could feel this like relaxation going in my chest. I could feel this pain. I could feel this joy coming over my whole body. This energy was just igniting me inside. And I could feel people like all over the place. And so I decided that like I just wanted to go for a walk.
Yes.
So I went out for a walk, and I was admiring the beauty all around me. There was birds, and there was dogs everywhere, and they were going to the bathroom, and it smelled really bad. It smelled great. It was the most amazing smell ever. I mean,
you did it, brother. Bro.
Oh, why would someone want to do those types of exercises in a company or on a team? Because I've seen you do it multiple times, and you've worked with some amazing companies. Why would someone want to do those for their company?
It's a variety of reasons, Todd. But the overall common denominators are to establish some authentic bonds, to break down some barriers in a healthy, non-psychologically clinical way, right? Because we're not therapists. But to create some bonds. Listen, laughter creates connection. It's medicinal. Laughter, when you're with the team laughing, but forced laughter can be horrible. So one of the results is that we're laughing as a group, and that does connect people. Secondly, I don't care what team. It could be the Dallas Cowboys, could be Deloitte, or it could be a military installation. It's a team of people. Could be Fitness Quest 10. When team people get together and they can see one another in a healthy, vulnerable light, and they can see people laughing with, and they can see different strengths come to the surface with good facilitators, it's a pretty tremendous opportunity to create and improve the culture.
I hope that made you smile and made you laugh, because it's so good to be laughing and smiling right now. Can I get an amen on that, everybody? Get an amen, amen. Humor truly is medicine for the soul. As a matter of fact, speaking of medicine for the soul, this next episode, episode 80, was one of the ones we got the most positive feedback because it's from my friend, Dr. Heidi Hanna. She's a brain expert, and she really focuses on stress reduction and what you can do to maximize your brain health. She talks about the Fab Five for brain health. And one of the things that's important that Heidi was talking about here in episode number 80 was that so many of us are drinking out of a fire hose. Right? There's so much coming at us and it's busy and it's complex and we can't always figure it out. But it's about the power of habits and dialing those habits in. And Heidi shares some of those habits. And then also, Heidi talks about the importance of slowing down and breathing and making sure you're tapping into your inner spirit. And she shares very, very deep and organically and authentically about her struggles and what she does to maximize her own health, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So you're in for a real treat. You may want to listen to this whole episode, but this little clip from episode 80 is certainly going to help your brain, and it is going to help you get your mind right. My friend, Dr. Heidi Hanna.
What I want everyone to keep in mind is, yes, we need to do the basics. So I call them my Fab Five for brain health and fitness. They are eat, move, sleep, rest, connect. Common sense, right? So what we eat, how often we move, and what we do when we're moving. Our sleep should be 7 to 8 hours. Our rest is actually downtime. That's cognitive rest, emotional rest. That's what we're going to come back to. And then social connections. So most of us as coaches, as trainers, as healers in any way are actually drinking out of the fire hose right now of need. There's never been more need, right?
That's
like
right.
I have
That's
more
right.
work opportunities than I've ever had before. And I was wanting to stay home. So it actually works out well for me. But the other piece is that we now have to really look at our mental and emotional discipline and habits the same way we have our physical. And the challenge is, no one really wants to talk about it because there's this sense, and I'm sure there's people listening right now that are like, I like my stress. Like, I'm not really down with this. I wrote a book a few years ago called Stressaholic. And the reason I wrote it was because here I was a stress expert who couldn't stop working. And I realized I'm addicted to work, but it's more than that. Like, what's going on? Why is it so hard to slow down? And I'll tell you what the truth is for most of us. We're scared to death that if we slow down, we might not start up again. Because we have been running. I goosebumps on myself, from my toes to the back of my head, goosebumps. We're afraid that if we stop, we won't be able to start up again because we've been running so hard for so long with the messages that say, live like you're dying, hustle, hack, right? And I'm like, I actually think we've hacked enough. I think we need to heal a little bit. And I'm sorry to say this, but you're going to be just fine. Slow down, take a deep breath, use some comedy, cry, take a bath, like do what you need to do to realize that you actually can slow down and actually be more successful. You don't have to hustle quite so hard.
Now that's some deep stuff right there. What I loved about episode 80, even that clip that you just heard, was how Heidi talks about how scary it is to slow down. Does anyone else need to slow down? You need to slow down and just kind of like take what I'm saying in right now and slow down and sink it in and take a deep breath and let it out. I invite you and encourage you to slow down and listen to the entire episode. Episode 80 with Dr. Heidi Hanna truly was a deep, impactful episode. So thank you, Heidi Hanna, for that clip right there. Awesome stuff. Now I'm going to flip the switch a little bit. I'm really excited for this upcoming football season. Can I get an amen on that one? We do have the NFL, at least right today as I record this, we have an NFL football season. And I am as fired up as anyone because, man, I love football. And a few months ago, I had the opportunity to talk to my good friend, Sean McDermott. Coach Sean McDermott is the head coach of the Buffalo Bills. That's right. Circle the wagons. The Buffalo Bills are in the house. And Sean McDermott is a man who I played football with at William & Mary. and he's done amazing things in his career. And he talks about that in episode 84, Coach McDermott. But the one clip that I want to share today on today's 100th, well, it's the 1 year anniversary, over 100 episodes, is I asked Coach McDermott, is leadership lonely? Is leadership lonely? You know, when you're an NFL coach, sometimes, you know, it's a little lonely when you're watching film and your mind is racing. But I bet each and every one of you listening in right now, regardless of your role, your title, your career, your occupation, sometimes it's a little bit lonely. Sometimes when you're trying to make some big decisions in your life, it's a little bit lonely. So let's head out to Buffalo, New York right now. Circle the Wagons coach Sean McDermott is in the house.
There's a lot of times when you're after a game or sitting in my office making, hoping, praying that I've made the right decision. But I always come back to if I'm prayed up and I've got the right mindset, every decision that I make, if every decision I make is what I feel is best for our team, I'm certainly hopefully going to bat and get a hit more than I strike out. So
when you say it's lonely, like, is that loneliness typically like late at night when everything's quieted down and the kids are asleep, the wife's in bed, and your mind can't turn off? Or is it at different times? When do you find that, like, man, your mind is racing?
Yeah, all the time.
I love it.
You're passionate about, it's like running a business.
That's right.
I mean,
that's right.
I don't own the business. Terry and Kim Pagula do, but they've entrusted me with a huge responsibility to handle their investment the right way. And so I take a lot of pride in that, and I take a lot of ownership in that. And so, but to answer your question specifically, I think it's more in those moments when you've made a big decision, or when things haven't gone your way out, after a loss on a Sunday afternoon.
Yep.
And you have those moments where the crowd's gone home and you look back and you say, hey, where did we go wrong? Where did I go wrong? And what do I need to do to get it fixed?
Oh, Coach McDermott's got me fired up. I want to put my helmet back on and hit that chin strap again, get it buckled on up. Thank you, Coach McDermott. Amazing job. Listen to episode 84, Inside the Head of an NFL Football Coach, a unique opportunity for you to see what it's like inside the NFL. Speaking of NFL, this is the last clip of the 1 year anniversary mashup. And man, this was a special one, and it's all about gratitude, because this offseason was the craziest, wackiest offseason ever in my 20-plus year career in working with NFL guys. And I've had the opportunity for the last 18 years to work with New Orleans Saints quarterback Drew Brees. And episode 104, I talk about chasing greatness and inside the huddle with 3 NFL quarterbacks, with Drew, with Chase Daniel, and with Luis Perez. But specifically, the clip I want to share right now is an emotional one, because it's the last time, at least for this year, maybe forever if Drew does retire. But he shares about gratitude, and he shares from his heart, and he gets a bit emotional in remembering and reflecting upon these 20 years and what it's meant to him. So let's go to the football field right now. There's a huddle of about, 15, 20 guys. Yeah, they're all kind of spaced out a little bit. And Drew is dropping some gems about gratitude from the huddle. Let's go out to the football field now and hear from legendary first-time ballot Hall of Famer and maybe last season in the NFL, Mr. Drew Brees.
At the end of the day, I don't live my life trying to prove people wrong. I live my life trying to prove those who believe in me right. And I know those who believe in me. And Todd, you've always been one of them.
Believe it.
House, always been one of them.
Believe it.
Aaron, always been one of them. Every day I wake up, I think about those guys. I think about proving those guys right and making them proud. And man, we do live in crazy times, and man, there's so many unknowns and there's so many variables. And the other thing is just worry about what you can control. Man, worry about being the best that you can be each and every day. And there's always something to prove, and it's not to others, but it's to yourself. It's to yourself.
True.
And I'm excited to get up each and every day. I'm excited to watch my sons grow and be a part of their life and be a part of their journey and be able to share, our experiences and the blessings that we have to be able to play this game. I mean, just when you really think about it and reflect on it for a moment, man, it's a blessing. It's a true blessing. And when, there's obviously that saying that, man, play every play like it's your last. And I know that in most cases that's just something that people say, but I really genuinely took that approach about 4 years ago, thinking that, man, maybe I was going into my last season. I'm 41 right now. Never in my wildest dreams that I think I'd be going into year 20 in the NFL. But I truly took that approach about 4 years ago. Man, I'm going to enjoy that locker room a little bit more. I'm going to enjoy those bus rides and those plane rides and those moments in the film room, and that just those moments in the lunchroom, just sitting down having a conversation with guys instead of being on your phone. Just all those little things, man. I'm enjoying it a little bit more, and I can't tell you how much more enjoyable playing football has been, and just how much more gratitude I have in my heart for this game and for those and the relationships I've been able to build through it. So value those things, value those opportunities, man, and so that when it is done and you are on to the next chapter, man, it has molded you, it has strengthened you, and it has equipped you to go on and do all the great things you're going to do in your life beyond that.
Wow. Oh, wow. I get emotional just listening to that again. And what an off season it's been. And I am so fired up for this football season coming up. Hey, in the world of the NFL, hopefully it's here in a matter of weeks. College, a matter of weeks. Hey, some of the high school football players, it might be months, because I know here in California it's going to be December, January, God willing. But as I just reflect on those 7 clips, we really have had some amazing episodes. Not just those 7, but the last from 50 on to 108. And if you even go back to the first 1 and 2 again, listen to those. But do spend time. If you talk about getting your mind right. I hope that any of these 108 episodes in the first year of the Todd, Durkin Impact Show podcast has inspired you, has motivated you, has made you a better man or woman, a better boy or girl, has made you a better leader, trainer, coach, entrepreneur, a better human being. And that's why I do the Impact Show. It's because of people like you who continue to listen and show up and say, you know what, we're making a difference in this world and on this planet. So what I thrive on is you. I thrive on your feedback. I thrive on you writing those reviews. And I can't thank you enough. If you've written a review, thank you. If you have not, please, sometime this week, if you can just write a review, give us that 5-star rating. That really helps the Impact Show continue to rise up the ladder so that we can continue to offer you great value. And hey, if you enjoyed this 1-year anniversary party today, if you could share it. Share it with your friends and colleagues and comrades. Share it with 5 of them and encourage them and invite them to listen in, because I can tell you this one thing. As we embark upon our 2nd year, I implore you that my team and I will continue to deliver some massive impact. So thank you. Slow down. I'm enjoying this moment. I don't want this episode to end, because I realize when I reflect back on the first year, it's been one heck of a year. If you could have told me on August 19, 2019, and look forward a year ahead, never did I think we would get to 108 episodes in 1 year. Never did I think that we'd have a pandemic. And never did I ever think that we would be able to, through this podcast, truly create impact in such amazing ways, from launching a book, the Get Your Mind Right book, to the podcast, to even now doing virtual keynotes around the world, from the comforts of our own gym here at Fitness Quest 10 or my own home. So much impact has been created. And the reason why is to just inspire you to continue to create impact in all you do. So thank you. On behalf of my entire team here at Fitness Quest 10 and Todd Durkin Enterprises, for my internal team that's helping me produce the Todd Durkin Impact Show, I thank you for showing up, because without you, we don't have a listener and we don't have a show. So continue to make a difference in the world. Continue to be that lighthouse in the world, because the world so desperately needs it right now. This 1-year anniversary party right now, this birthday party we're having, is going to continue for the rest of the day. Go out there and create an amazing day. And don't forget to train hard, to eat right, to live inspired, to get your mind right. And of course, go out there and create massive impact today.